Why is it making that sound? Do you hear that?
What?
That
Oh, is
sound?
there clicking? It's probably me pushing the button. I muted it real
Oh,
quick.
okay, okay. Because I was like, "What is that
No, that was me.
sound?"
We
It
won't be doing
sounded,
that. Don't worry.
it
Don't worry.
sounded like a drumming, and then I was like, "Okay, what is going on?" Like I thought we were having technical issues again. I was like about to freak out.
No, we're good. We're good.
All right, hold on. I'm sending it to you guys.
All right.
Alrighty. That was funny. I wonder if Scott will be watching tonight.
I hope so.
I'll share it.
Right?
Yeah.
I just shared it to him.
I'm sure you
I
should
shared
be.
it. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Hi everyone. While Bill's watching, I'm not sure who that is, but hey, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right. So tonight we have Jake. Do you go by Jake or Jacob?
Jake.
Jake and Noah from Spirit Stalkers.
Hello.
They're kind of new, but kind of not new.
Yeah.
They're young. Let's put it that way. They're young.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit about who you guys are. Hi, Peggy.
So we're brothers. We live here in Huntington, Indiana, and we, our whole lives we always traveled around to these haunted and historic places for, family vacations, etc. And that kind of grew this like love for the paranormal and history in us. And it got to a breaking point after last year. We went to Savannah and we were just like so in love with the town and the history and the ghosts. And we were like, all right, we really need to make a channel. Like we've been talking about this for a long time. We need to make a YouTube channel and just go for it and see what happens. And so last August of 2021, we made this channel, or it was like September, right?
Yeah.
We made this channel and then we just kind of started going from there, just going to haunted places and making videos.
And you're on TikTok as well, so you
Mhm.
guys can find them on TikTok.
Yep.
Because that's how I found them.
Awesome.
Was TikTok, but they also have paranormal friends in common, like Scott, our little leprechaun. Actually, I'm the leprechaun now, I think. I'm going green. I actually had people tell me that the last couple weeks. They're like, it's not St. Patrick's Day. I'm like, really? That's kind of rude.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, I dyed my hair green because I like,
Yeah, that's definitely why.
I went from purple to green, witchy colors, but apparently they associate it with St. Patty's Day.
Well,
whatever. I like it.
that's good.
All right. So you said you've been doing this your whole life. Like, how old are you?
I'm 21.
I'm 16.
Oh, okay.
Pretty young.
You are very young. I have a
Yeah.
16-year-old and a 19-year-old. So,
There
and
you
a
go. Yeah,
13-year-old.
so that's basically us.
Right. So, okay. So you're been doing it your whole life, but what have you been doing your whole life besides going into like? Did you start off in buildings, or did you start in your home, or where did you start investigating?
When I say like our whole life, I mean like every family vacation that our parents would take me on, we would travel to somewhere either historic or haunted. It was never really like a beach or like, summer vacation. It was always like historic and haunted. And so really it was like we got our start going to like Gettysburg and like doing ghost tours. And it was really like those like the guided ghost tours. That's what really got us into it. I don't think we ever really investigated anywhere like by ourselves until Savannah.
Yeah.
Savannah was the first time ever doing something like that.
Now, are your parents into the paranormal as well? Like, since they like the history and the ghost tours, or
My dad definitely is. My
For
mom,
sure.
my mom's, about it, but
she just goes along with it.
yeah, pretty much. But my dad's definitely into it for sure.
TikTok. Yeah, you know what TikTok is, sir.
TikTok is in tow. Hey, it's Tom.
Hello, Tom.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for watching.
What is here from the blue and gray? What is that?
Oh, the Blue and Gray is a restaurant in Gettysburg. So we could go off on a tangent about Tom. Tom's awesome.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us about Tom.
Go ahead.
I'll put his comment there.
So, I'm not sure how we really met Tom. That's really all Jake stuff. But
I met him actually through the Gettysburg.
it was like the Ghost
Images group. Really was what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I met him. And then
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
And so like I messaged him or I made some kind of post and he was like, "Oh, that's cool," telling him that we were going to go to Gettysburg, which is where we were like last week. And he said, "Oh, that's cool. I live in the orphanage, which is one of the haunted buildings there." And so we got to messaging, and he set us up. He go ahead, tell him like everything that.
So Tom gave us pretty much a free investigation to the Jenny Wade House, which is one of the most popular haunted places in Gettysburg, for free. And he also gave us a free tour that we weren't supposed to be on, but he also took us because he was the tour. He was the tour guide. And he also took us in a lot of like dinner places when we were in the Gettysburg trip for free, and he paid for all of us, which was awesome. So we gave Tom a shirt, which is we ordered, and we gave him a bunch of stickers of ours. So we kind of showed him some love because we love Tom.
Very cool.
So
I haven't been to Gettysburg yet. It's on my bucket list. It's very much on my bucket list. I just gotta, funding. I don't know how anybody does it anymore. I think we all need to try to put out in the universe that we want to manifest money so we can all share the wealth and go on investigations together because it's getting expensive.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. So tell me about your experience at Gettysburg. What's it like?
So I said we used to travel, going to haunted places. Gettysburg is like the number one spot we've been to. I think I've been there. I keep saying like 15 times, something like that is how many times I've been there. And we're young, and we live 9 hours away, so that's saying something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome there. Everybody I've talked to who's gone to Gettysburg says the same thing, that there's just like a feeling when you see the first fence on the battlefield or you see the first monument. You just get this like kind of like sad, like heavy feeling just because all the death that happened there.
Mm-hmm.
And every single person, whether they believe in ghosts or not, who's gone to Gettysburg has said that same thing.
Right.
Yeah, it was really cool. We did a 3-part investigation that's coming out on July 2nd. We went to the orphanage, which is where Tom lives. He lives in the upper part of the orphanage. We went to the Jenny Wade House, who is the only civilian to die in the battle. And then we went to Sachs Covered Bridge, which is rumored to be the spot where the Confederate soldiers hung some defectors as they retreated from the battlefield. So it's my favorite place in the world. I'm even considering moving there. That's how much I love it there.
And I know I've seen quite a pretty good evidential pictures of soldiers. I wonder if people who are actually in the military, like myself, I'm a veteran, if we went there, if we would have more of a reaction to the spirits, knowing that we are all in the same boat.
We're
soldiers.
I was thinking that myself. Like, I wonder how that works for I've never met a veteran. I don't know a veteran who's gone to Gettysburg.
Yeah, because I don't think Scott's been there.
Yeah.
Because I know a few people, but I don't know any veterans myself that have been there. So that'd be cool. I would look forward to that. But you guys have a YouTube channel.
Yep.
So you guys tell me about the YouTube channel and what you put on there and what's that all about?
So we started off our YouTube channel as being like a place where we would put us going to these abandoned buildings and like kind of like investigating, but not really investigating, just kind of just like looking around. But then we got this bold idea of, doing these private investigations and documenting them, kind of like you would see on like the paranormal channels on like Travel Channel, Discovery Plus, things like that. And we got inspiration from them, looking these private places and documenting our investigations and editing, like kind of how you'd see on the big TV. So yeah, right now we're just kind of just making it slow, and doing more and more investigations on the YouTube.
Do you have a lot of followers on YouTube?
We have almost 1.5 thousand.
Okay, you're getting
And
there.
under like a span of like 8 months, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I have to look it up on YouTube. I don't think I follow you on YouTube yet, but I will.
Okay, cool.
Definitely do. We
Yep.
appreciate it.
And I know we were talking before we went live. We were talking about how it is to go live when you investigate. What and you guys obviously do that because I've seen your lives, especially on TikTok. How do you feel about doing the lives? When you are you comfortable with it? Are you not comfortable? Is it harder?
I'm completely fine with it. It's not really a difficult thing I think it's harder to film and document an entire nights of evidence and video, but the most difficult thing about going live is just like the time. Like in Gettysburg, we only had a couple hours at the locations. We went to the Fowler Theater and the Old Benton County Jail, and we only had 3 hours. Right.
There was 2 hours at each location.
2 hours at each of those locations, and so at those types of places, it's really hard to do a live because we need every minute to film.
Mhm.
But some of the places they'll give you like 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. the next day. So those are the types of places where we've kind of done some lives before. And what we're starting to do now, I think, is kind of return to places, not to film a documentary, but to just do a live stream there. Because I think people enjoy, people who can't go to these places themselves. It makes them feel like they're there since it's live. And, if they want to ask a question to the spirits, they can comment and say, "Can you ask this?" Then we can do it for them.
Right. Now, because I've gone live both in my Facebook group and then TikTok as well. I really haven't done it on Instagram because I don't really use Instagram that much.
Mhm.
Even though I have it, I don't use it very much. But what I find hard is going live is when I'm trying to interact with the viewers, but then also try to stay quiet enough for my teammates to do their investigation. So that's what's, that's the kind of hard part, I think,
For sure.
Yeah, Wild Bill, Perry Unity. I like Perry Unity, but I don't know. There's so much drama when you say Perry Unity. I think just working together as best as you can, that's why I do this podcast. So it's to learn from everybody, whether you're young, old, new, or, just starting out or been in it for 30 years. Everybody can learn something,
Mhm.
But what got you more interested in doing the documentaries?
I think that was always our end goal. I think towards the beginning, though, it was just really difficult, because how young we are. It's hard to pay for all these places, especially when you're talking like huge places like Waverly, or even like when we went to Gettysburg, you have to pay for gas, a hotel, the location. And so we really started off just going to like these just abandoned places because it's free and they're like close.
Right.
But once we really figured out, like, okay, first of all, we can do this. Second of all, we're serious about it. And third of all, we can pay for it. We started doing more of these documentary videos. But I think it was always in the back of our mind as like our end goal was to make these documentaries.
That's cool. How many documentaries have you done so far?
I think 7.
So I think 7. The Gettysburg will be number 8, I believe.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And how long do you like? Because like I said, I haven't really followed you on your YouTube channel yet. But how long do you make your documentaries? How long do they last?
You go ahead.
I think our shortest one is like 27 minutes, and the longest one is about 47 minutes. So just like in between those time frames is usually the
Not bad.
limit.
Basically, like any of the paranormal shows, kind of like the length of those, like a feature length is what we call it, a feature length documentary that you might see on the Travel Channel or somewhere else.
Right. Now, do you feel like as you grow into the field and do more, you hopefully one day put a movie together on TV or a documentary? and get it on TV? Is that your
Um,
somewhat of a goal of yours?
so I think the biggest goal is to be able to do this full time, however that might be. So we don't have to, work a separate job. Like this can be our job. That's our number one goal.
I think that would be all of our number one.
Yeah,
goal.
exactly.
to do what we love full time. Yes.
Yeah. And so whether that's on the Travel Channel, say, or just even on YouTube, because people make so much money from YouTube.
Oh yeah, they do.
Not that it's all about the money, but whichever one works out better, I think we're
Right.
fine with. But if we can get on the Travel Channel, that would be that would be our dream. That would be amazing.
That would be cool. Yeah, you got to get yourself an RV and just travel.
Just drive around, yeah.
Just drive
Yeah.
around with your equipment and go. I mean, that
Mhm.
would be my dream. But
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? And Bill,
Yeah.
yes, I agree with you on the drama. You want drama, go somewhere else. I'm here to work with everybody. I can't stand drama. But anywho, so what places have you visited so far? Because you've mentioned Waverly.
We haven't been to Waverly yet.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
We haven't been. It's coming.
Then
but we
I
haven't.
said I have been there, and I suggest you waiting till the rightful owners get their place back.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Is that what's happening right now?
Yes,
Is
it's
that-
it's as you can see, I have savewaverlyhills.com. Go visit that, sign the petitions, get the shirts. Every little bit of money that is raised goes towards their lawyer fees to get their building back. What happened was, as the Waverly Hills Historical Society kind of booted the owners out and took over because of some contract they had, and yeah, it's not going so well for the Waverly Hills Historical Society right now, but just wait. Good things are coming for the owners, so but it's definitely a place you want to go visit.
For sure. It is top 3 locations we want to go to for sure.
Yeah. I got to go last year with Scott and Aiden and Jeremy and Crystal and all them. So we went in April, so it was absolutely amazing building. But that's one you definitely need to go for like more than one night because it's so big.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And you could pretty much go with a few people than just yourselves and still not be heard.
Oh yeah.
So, but okay, so Gettysburg, what other places have you been?
So we've been to Gettysburg is the most recent. Obviously, the Huntington County Historical Museum. We were the first people to ever investigate that building, which is those are so rare these days to be
Right.
able to go somewhere where no one else has been. So that was one of the coolest things we've ever done. And
That's
it was kind of a
That's my goal: to find somewhere nobody
Yeah.
has been.
yeah. And it was like an underdog location because we had only heard a couple of stories, and it ended up being the craziest, scariest place we've ever been.
Really?
Which is why we're going back tomorrow. Yeah. Where else? Old Benton County Jail, another one of those underdog locations that scared us to death. The Fowler Theater. Where else?
We've been to Randolph County Asylum,
Randolph County Infirmary.
Stone Mansion,
Yep.
Blackford County Jail. We've been there twice actually.
Is that all? I think that's all of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
that's all of them so far.
I haven't been to Stone Mansion, but my favorite human has. And I watched them live with one of his teams that was there, and it was interesting from what I was gathering on the live when they were live. But do you guys have abilities? Does either one of you guys, are you sensitive to spirits, or you just?
I don't think so. I could, some of these places, like we can kind of tell, we can usually figure out, where the kind of hot spots are in a building.
Mhm.
I don't know if you'd consider that, like, I don't claim to like be able to see them or like,
Gotcha.
talk to spirits or anything. No, we're just kind of we try to be pretty scientific about everything usually because
Okay.
we don't have any,
Right,
ability.
right. I gotcha. Have you ever taken them, like a medium with you or anything like that?
No, but we've been wanting to. I think you have a couple friends that
Yeah.
say they are, yeah. And so we've been wanting to just to see like what I would like to do, at least me personally, is bring one of them along, just like
Mhm.
blind, see what they pick up on, and then see what we get and see what they can match to the history and whatever else, and just see because we're more scientific part and then they're more spiritual part. See if those can kind
Right.
of overlap.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I know quite a few people, so you let me know, and I'll hook you up with people all
Sounds
around.
good. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would agree with Wild Bill. Obviously, you can feel their energy if you know where to find them.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, then I guess sure. To a degree,
That's
I will
why-
say the more we're doing this, the more it's like I don't know how to explain it. Are you feeling that way too? Like the more we do this, the easier it is to like
Sense
kind
them.
of sense
Yeah.
spirits and stuff.
Mhm.
You sense when like something's gonna happen. And
Mhm.
we've been pretty
Well,
good at determining
I-
when something's about to happen. Like
Yeah, and I feel that way. I feel the more people do this, the more times you go into it, the more your spiritual side opens up, so to say. Your third eye opens up, your, all your senses. I mean, because we're in a dark room with not a whole lot of sound, so you have to rely on your senses.
yeah,
So those you yourself come in tune with your senses more.
yeah.
So, but everyone's different. But I feel like the more we do it, the stronger we get. So.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would agree with Bill that that's definitely a skill if you can do that.
Awesome.
So, but yeah, no, I'm excited. Now I forget what I was going to ask. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Like somebody stop.
You're good.
I swear, this is why I'm taking a break after next week. Because school is out now,
Yeah.
restless inside all day. Oh my Lord. I'm going to tell you to stop one more time and then you're grounded. I'm on a live, Mateo. Stop. Sorry, everyone.
That's right.
Yes. Ace has seen a lot of people in hands. Ace has been in the field for a long time, and he's one. If you ever can investigate with him, investigate with him. He's really good. He's kind of like you guys. He senses them. He'll point. He'll actually go. There's one standing in the corner. Throw a cat ball in the corner, and it'll start. He'll ask questions, and the cat ball starts reacting, or the K2
Dang.
will start reacting. So, somebody's on from things. I wonder if that's Jeremy. That you're sensitizing yourself to the energy around you. Who is the Things Network that's responding? I don't know who that is. Huh. I love it because it tells, everybody's admin, so it doesn't show who they are.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
That's how this, works.
Mhm.
But anywho, okay, so we talked about you want to go to Waverly. What is your biggest bucket list besides Waverly?
You got it with yours?
My biggest bucket list place would probably be like Alcatraz, because like that's always been like one of the coolest places like on the planet in my opinion. And I just like that vibe of like the alone island with the fog and like it's surrounded by water and every spirit's like trapped and it's just awesome. Awesome story too.
Oh, it was Bill, not Jeremy.
Nice.
He's going. Bill's going incognito. I actually want to go there too. I've always found that place interesting, but apparently you can't investigate it like we want to. But you can take tours through there. So
Gotcha.
like day tours, but you can't actually rent it out and go investigate, which would be really
Dang.
cool if they
That
did
would be
that.
really cool.
Interesting.
But the Queen Mary, I want to do that one too.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
We do too. That's
Yeah.
that's like top 3 for me. That's one of the top
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, Queen Mary would be
Yeah.
cool, and that's right out there by Alcatraz. So
Yeah, we have a cousin out there in California. She lives in Riverside in Southern California, and we've been talking about maybe going out there, staying with her, and then just hitting all these locations.
yeah, my
That's
brother
been on
lives
the
out.
table.
My brother lives out in Carlsbad, which is near La Jolla.
Oh yeah,
I think it's near Riverside. So,
Mhm.
hey, we'll like go together. You
Yeah,
stay at
then-
your cousins, I'll stay at my
Bucket list
brother's, and
mark down.
we'll hit all the right places out in California.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I want to try. I don't know about you guys, but I would think it would be cool to hit a haunted location every 50 state. All
Yeah,
the 50
that would be
states,
cool.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, we will have to definitely try to work together because I like working with young people too. Just like Ace is on my team, so
We would like to stay in Savannah too. We're talking about that coming up for next year, doing a trip to Savannah and hitting a bunch of spots.
Savannah would be cool.
Because that's the place where we've never been somewhere, at least in my opinion. I've never been anywhere that can even get close to Gettysburg on like my favorite places list, but Savannah is like right there with Gettysburg.
Well, we definitely want to go to Salem around the Halloween season because
Yeah.
that'd be cool. But you actually have to take a whole week to go there to enjoy all the festive environment and that. But I would like to go to New Orleans.
That would be cool.
Mhm.
That would be cool.
I mean, my favorite show was filmed there, but yeah, that would like just the history in New Orleans is.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I don't know. Have you always like? I know you said you guys went to historical buildings, with your parents, but have you always enjoyed history, like in school and stuff, or?
I have. So I'm not in college anymore, but my first year I went to college at Ball State. I wanted to get I double majored in political science and U.S. history. I'm always listening to some history podcast and reading history books, all kinds of stuff. I'm
That's
crazy
awesome.
about the history.
Because not a lot of young people are, and I
Sadly,
talked to
no.
a lot of people in the paranormal, and it's funny because back in school, middle school and high school, none of it, we all thought the history classes were boring and this and that, and now it's like that's what you go for. You go for the history, the building,
Yeah.
and then you get to talk to dead people.
Yeah. Yep. That's
Pretty
a
much.
plus on there.
But you
Talk to the
go
people.
for the history part.
Yeah.
And it just amazes me how like a lot of people are like that. It's like
Yep.
back when you were little, you didn't care.
Yeah, for sure.
Ace said Hertz Castle and Winchester as well in California.
Yeah,
Winchester.
Winchester. I want to go there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a crazy place. St. Augustine is also another good city to investigate.
Yeah, I was gonna say the St. Augustine Lighthouse. That's number one on my list. That's I specifically remember I was 3 years old and I came downstairs and I was 3 and my dad was watching Taps on TV, like the Ghost Hunters.
I
And
remember that.
It was the episode of them in the St. Augustine Lighthouse, and they caught like a ball of light or something moving across the ceiling.
Mhm.
And I don't know what it was, but it terrified me. And ever since then, I've been scared of ghosts. Ever since then, it like terrified, like almost like a phobia.
But how can you do this if you're afraid of ghosts?
I think that's one of the main points is I think we were both terrified of ghosts. And so one of the things I wanted to do as a kid, I was so terrified of storms and tornadoes. And so I went and I think I was like 14, 15. I went and did a thing with the National Weather Service, like shadowed them. I wanted to be a meteorologist. I'd go storm chasing. And then now I'm terrified of ghosts, and now I'm doing this. I feel like I just like things that I'm scared of.
Yeah.
Makes me feel like I'm defeating something.
I get it. I mean, Ace always says he's afraid of ghosts, and I'm like, yeah, okay, ghost whisperer. Because like I said, he can find him wherever we go. He's like, there's a guy standing. I'm like, yeah, I know, I see him, but he's like, he'll like pick him up. But see, a fellow investigator that's afraid of ghosts. Yeah, I see that.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I'm doing it. Yeah, if you watch some of our documentaries, you'll see me specifically screaming at my lungs.
I heard you.
Yeah, you saw that one.
I've seen your tick. Yeah, I was like, why is he screaming?
Yeah, that was that old Benton. But we're getting better at it. In Gettysburg, I think we handled it really well. And Gettysburg is also where the fear stemmed from. Was down there in the basement at the orphanage. That's where our fear kind of stemmed from.
Well, I could say I really haven't. I mean, me and Ace have investigated, like I was telling you about Crescent, which was pretty cool. We got to go around. We were pretty much our own team. We went with a whole bunch of people from our underground paranormal network. But we all had different locations because, like I said, you got 45 minutes in each building and we rotated. So we were pretty much on our own. But I really never did one where I went solo into a dark spot by myself.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would feel. So, have you ever done solos where you leave your brother and go in a
Yeah,
room by
so
yourself?
solos is like how we kind of finish off every episode. At least we try to. We kind of failed a few times where we
Yeah.
just got way too scared. But again, the more we're doing this, the more the more we're doing solos. We were doing them for a while there, and then just 2 investigations in a row. Really, it just got so like crazy things that I've never seen anybody else capture. Like the cell door slamming on us at Benton jail
Mhm.
on video, not to mention, and then at the museum, a piano playing by itself. We got hissed at, and my dad was with us because he's the one who let us in because he volunteers there, and he heard loud footsteps, scared him to death too. And that's also where a shadow figure was captured. That's going to be on the Travel Channel here soon. That clip is. So we didn't do solos there, but we did in Gettysburg.
Yep.
And we also did it in complete darkness, and in the one place that started like our childhood like trauma, like being scared of ghosts, which is the pit at the orphanage where Tom lives.
Mhm.
So yeah, I felt good after doing that. I think we're gonna be okay from here on out. But it was pretty scary being in there with no lights at all.
Well, I will tell you, because you guys live in Indiana, so the Monroe House, if you haven't been there, definitely go there. It's $175 a night, so it's not badly priced.
Is that the one in
That's-
Hartford City across from
Yes.
the jail?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So, but it's very interesting. Most people call it the Demon House, which I
Yeah.
had a hard time believing because we had stuff happen there. However, it wasn't like I didn't have that huge, enormous, like frightful scare, but I did jump there, not gonna lie.
Nice.
We had we weren't even getting started on our, and it always seems like when you don't have your recorders on, your equipment out or nothing, things happen. But we Ace was taking us around because it was Ace, myself, and two other female teammates. So he showed us around the house because he's been there many times, and he showed us around. And the other 2 girls went outside because one of them was a smoker, so they went outside, and we were in the kitchen because we were talking about the refrigerator that they told us wasn't working at that time. And we heard this loud, huge bang. I jumped. I grabbed his arm, like, don't leave me. So I wasn't really scared, but I was like, whoa, what was that? Like, that was probably my first time hearing something like with my own ears. Not with my third eye, but with my own ears. And yeah, it sounded like the metal cots that were leaning against the wall, like were thrown across the room, and they were still against the wall. And it was weird. Nothing was moved or misplaced, but it was a loud bang. It was weird.
That is weird.
But so if you guys can go there, it is a really. We're going in September, so but yeah. We're actually going for 2 nights.
How do you book that through? Because I've looked after I heard about it the first time.
I will send you their names. I'll send it through to the chat. It's Ed and Pam Norris. So awesome. I will get you in contact with them.
Yeah, when we went to the Blackford jail, we were looking like someone told me about it when they said we told the Facebook that we were going to the jail, and they were like, "Oh yeah, the Demon House is right across the street." And we're like, "What?"
Yeah, it is really something. And what's nice too is, it has running water, you can shower there. It's, working kitchen, coffee, all that stuff. And then the donut shop right across the street. Amazing.
Is there one across? Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it there. I remember.
It's amazing for breakfast.
Have you gone to the Blackford County Jail?
No.
No.
We'll have to look into that.
It was pretty cool. And then they also let you do the Speakeasy, which is just down the street. And so we did both of them. It's pretty scary.
What
Speakeasy is the Speakeasy is, you know what a Speakeasy is?
No.
Right. It's like during Prohibition, when alcohol was illegal, it was kind of like a secret bar. And so people would meet up and drink secretly and do stuff. And so they have this building down the street from the jail and the Monroe House. It's the Speakeasy, and they just give you the keys for both buildings and tell you to go back and forth. We actually got the cops called on us when we were there.
Yep.
Because someone thought we were breaking in. That scared us half to death when he was yelling, "Hey!" in the dark, and we're like, "What?"
I bet.
The speakeasy is, I don't know if I want to go back there ever.
Mm-mm.
It's not a good feeling. So if you ever go, let us know, because I want to know if
Okay.
anyone else has sensed that there. It was
Sense
dark.
what you sense.
It was
Yeah.
dark.
No, that would be cool. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna have to look into that because I try to find things for my team that's within reasonable time frame of
Yeah.
travel, because we were actually supposed to go to Oklahoma this past April, which would have been an 18-hour drive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a ways out.
So I'm not sure if I'm ready for that, especially with these gas prices now.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
know. So I try to stay within like 5 hours or less, which is hard, unless you can afford air flight. But still, I'm not ready to fly places yet.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. But we'll see one of these days. Bill says to face your fears. He's afraid of spiders. So he got himself a tarantula. Bless your heart, Bill.
Nice.
Bless your heart.
Nice.
I'm terrified of spiders. If you guys haven't seen my Facebook post, I do Spider Saga now. I'm up to episode like 18 or something like that of the spiders that decide they want to take place in my office.
Oh.
And I
Awesome.
try not to kill them because somebody likes spiders around me. So I try not to kill them. I'm trying to get over that fear.
Yeah. Yep.
I did hold a tarantula in November, though. I was so
Nice.
proud of myself, but I couldn't breathe because she said, "Don't breathe on him." And I'm like, "What do you mean, don't breathe on him? Like he's in my hand. What do you mind? Like, how am I supposed to live here?"
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no. She's like, "Don't breathe on him." I'm like, "What's he gonna do if I?" And all I pictured was if I breathed on him, he was gonna jump on my face and attack me. That's all. So I didn't breathe the whole 30 seconds I held him. I did
Nice.
not breathe.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I don't care for them. They jump and they're like huge. The spiders are like tarantulas in my office. So now I have a cup that I take them outside in. Oh,
That
brother.
works.
It does, but I'm terrified of spiders. Just like you guys are terrified of ghosts.
Uh-huh.
I scream. Yep. It's bad. It's bad. But you know what? Centipedes are worse. Centipedes
For
are
sure.
worse.
Yeah.
I agree.
Those are the worst though, because like when you go into the like haunted locations and you go into the basement, what are all over the basements? They're usually concrete,
Yeah.
cement. There's spiders. There's Ace has kung fu kicked ghosts before. I have not seen it yet. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the kung fu. Actually, he kung fu kicked him in the Monroe house, I believe, is what I was told.
Nice.
So if you go there, you might kung fu kick or karate chop and whatever else you come up with when you are afraid of ghosts.
Yep.
You never know. But now, do you guys because you said you usually are just by yourself? Do you ever invite your dad to go with you?
He went with us to the museum, but that was only because that was the only way we were going to get in. We did invite friends for the first few documentaries, but that was just to kind of keep the costs low because it is pretty pricey going to some of these places, and also because some of them are curious about what we're doing. Like, what are you doing hunting ghosts, making YouTube videos? So we brought them along so they can kind of experience it with us, and it was a lot of fun. But ever since we started doing just us two, the evidence has just been crazy.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? I do feel like that because I think we talked about that for a few minutes, and I really do feel like you're right. When you're in a smaller setting, smaller group, you might get more. And I think it's too because there's less noise, so we're more apt to hearing more. Maybe seeing more because we're not distracted by other people.
Yeah. I also think it could be that well, I lost my thought.
That the spirits aren't intimidated by the large groups.
Well, yeah, I've thought that. I've also thought that just maybe like some of the evidence that we're getting with our group friends or our with our friends when we're in larger groups, we'll get evidence, but we'll just like, okay, that was just that was just our friend because he was right downstairs when we were up on the second floor,
Yeah.
like whatever. Versus when they're gone and it's just us, we know everything we're hearing was not us.
Yeah.
And so it has to be something else. We can't just be like, oh, it was our friend over here.
Right. Yeah. We got to debunk a lot more when we're in larger groups.
Yep.
You know, you got to tag when somebody burps or farts or, you know,
Yeah.
shuffles their feet and,
Yep.
you know, whispers.
It's a lot harder.
It is. And that's my issue too, is I whisper too much. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to stop doing that. But it's hard. It's hard when you're trying to be respectful to your teammates. And then you like, you say something quietly and you're like, shoot, tag that.
Yeah.
I whispered.
Yep.
Yeah, you have less chance of contamination. Thanks,
Yep,
Bill.
for sure.
That was the word I was looking for, contamination. I swear. I think my mind is going blank when I, because of spell check. I don't remember words anymore. I don't know. I feel like the older I get, the less my brain works. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Social media does it to you because we read less. With the teams I work with, not to whisper. Yeah, I know. I try not to whisper, but I'm like I said, I'm trying to be respectful so it happens. It's weird. I'm weird. Sorry, Bill. Hopefully one day we'll meet in person. You know what? I mean, it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, that's now how does your parents feel about you guys going like all over since you're so young? Especially you being 16.
Go ahead since you're the younger one.
Well, I think from the start they've always were supporting us and were interested because, you know, we've always been interested in the paranormal. So there was never like a time when they said like, oh, I'm so worried about you or you can't do this. It was always, you know, okay, you guys can go. It's all right. So
yeah,
cool.
never really
been pretty chill.
That's cool. That's good. They're supportive. Now have you tried to go into any buildings that you're not able to because of your age?
Did you just get a thing about that?
Yeah.
Is that what I saw?
Scott literally just messaged us like 5 minutes ago saying that you have to be 18 to go into the Ohio State Reformatory. So me and Aiden might not be able to go, but Jeremy is messaging the lady who owns it and seeing if they can make an exception. So
that would suck because that's on our list for August is to go with them to the reformatory.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not going without him because that's not a video if he doesn't come with us. So
right, absolutely. I mean, because like I have 3 children. My oldest is in Germany right now. He's in the military, but my youngest is 13, and he's the one that's more sensitive, like I am. But I can't take him into any buildings because he's too young.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but all the places we've actually gone, like for our channel, I've never run into that. I think you know, this usually like what is it? Save the Old Properties, Stop LLC that owns the jail, the Randolph County Infirmary, and the Stone Mansion. I think they have an 18 limit, but they've never cared. I'm like, hey, he's 16, and they're like, whatever. They've been pretty good with it. So.
Right. And I mean, but my son's only 13, so he's still, I mean,
so that
he's old enough to go. He would be old enough, in my opinion, to go, but not old enough for buildings because of liability, I guess.
Yep.
Most buildings you have to be 16, but some are like that, 18.
Yep.
So I was just wondering how you get around that.
Yeah, we haven't really run into it yet, so we're good for now, unless this jail thing or the reformatory thing works weird.
Well, hopefully, I'm hoping more of these buildings that do have investigations start opening up to the younger investigators, because most of the younger investigators out there that I know is because their parents are involved in the field, you know. So
and they'd have a guardian with them then, you know.
Exactly. I wouldn't leave my son by himself. He'd be walking around with me.
Yeah.
You know, so but a lot of people I know that, and I know a few people who are actually caretakers are starting to do that, where they're allowing children to having one night where it's earlier in the evening, you know. Ace wants to know if you have any favorite equipment or trigger items.
Gettysburg was cool because it was the first time we've like dressed up sort of for the investigation. So we both got like authentic wool kepis, which is the Union hats that they would wear.
Yep.
And so we both wore like the Union soldier hats for the whole investigation. That was pretty cool. My favorite piece of equipment is the REM pod. I have, you know, I was skeptical about it, and it went off for like the first few places we went, and I was like, okay, it's just going off every time. And as I said that, like it just hasn't gone off in like what, a few months.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone off. It didn't go off once at the museum. It didn't go off once in Gettysburg, and so I'm not sure. So I believe in it now, and it's my favorite thing ever now.
I like the REM pod. However, I did discover something with the REM pods, and it doesn't matter who's made them. I've had local people who've made REM pods, the actual REM pod people, the red ones, the puck. If you have a plasma ball, you know what the plasma balls are, right? So like the ball, the crystal ball that has electricity in it, and you touch it and it comes to your fingers.
Uh-huh.
So if you have one of those close to the REM pod, I think I measured about 6 feet away. It'll actually make your REM pod go off.
Yeah, so one of the things we found with that was when we were at the Stone Mansion, that was the first time we ever did a TikTok live. And on the live, we were freaking out because the REM pod was going off on command. And I was walking Noah, and I was like, yo, the REM pod's going off. This is crazy. Get down here, because I was in the basement alone. And then I was like, wait a minute. And I turn on the walkie again. And the walkie-talkie, it does not really matter how far away you are from it. If there is a walkie-talkie in the building, it'll set the REM pod off.
Yeah. So REM pods, as much as I like them, and I think they do work, you have to be careful with other equipment.
It's got to be by itself, really. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Off in its own, little thing.
But that's the science behind it too. You gotta like debunk stuff. So
yeah, yep.
Try different things.
We're big about trying to debunk literally everything that we get. We try so hard to make it, like, oh, that was just a door. We try to debunk everything is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's funny. I did have the plasma ball in an area by itself, and that's how I discovered the REM pod, because we went to move the REM pod into a different area, and as I walked by, it went off. So I did it again, and I kind of went back and forth, and that's how I discovered that the plasma ball was making it go off. I was like, cool. Yeah. Somebody's gonna be grounded today. Just saying. I'm getting on my nerves right now. Terrible. We got 10 minutes too. Oh, that's a good idea, to use the plasma ball so they can recharge themselves. I never thought it that way. That's a good idea. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's a good idea there, Bill. I wonder, what team are you on, Bill? Can you put it in the chat? Now I wondered, like, because you said you wore the uniform and stuff to Gettysburg. Do you think that might have helped you get more evidence by dressing up?
I think so. So we've only gone through a couple. We surprisingly didn't get much in the moment at Gettysburg, like bangs or footsteps or anything. But we usually get quite a bit like after the fact, and we really haven't gone through anything yet. We usually wait, and then while we're editing, we'll like, okay, we want this clip's next, so we'll watch the full thing, see if there's any evidence with headphones and whatever. We've only looked through the ones that were our solo investigations in the basement, where we did complete darkness, and we did get some like child voices and things. So we don't know really what we got, but I think anything to kind of relate yourself to the spirits you're talking to definitely helps. Trying to put yourself in their shoes almost. And since a lot of soldiers died there, wearing the hats, kind of looking like them, kind of feeling like them a little bit more, it helps you to connect to them better.
Okay, I would agree with that. Like, because I've tried like different sounds. Like if I know, like we were recently at Stimson Hospital, which is here in Michigan. And one of the rooms, my teammate had a spirit box going, and I kept hearing like a piano playing and then a violin playing, and I'm like coming through the spirit box, and I'm like, it's running through an FM, stereo, like the white noise. It's going through FM, not AM. So FM wouldn't really have a clear-cut piano or violin coming through it. Mm-hmm. And this was so I started playing I put my phone on, I played classical music, and then you started hearing somebody talking through the spirit box. So I was like, hey, we got a piano
Nice.
player,
Yep.
violinist here, but they did, and it was kind of cool. So finding those little things
sure.
that do work, I think is really good.
Yep.
I'm a private investor is asked by teams to come in and help with things. I got rid of the team thing to do to trauma. Oh, I got you. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, a lot of people do that too. They go solo. Yum. Yes. Anywho, so we got about 10 minutes left. Um, hi, Darren. I was wondering when you was going to show up. He Darren Smith. If you're ever able to go to Ohio, he runs the Old Licking County Jail, and that's
Does he
really
really?
Sweet.
yes. So get
No
in
way.
touch with Darren.
Darren, you're like on our bucket list, and that's like coming up soon. I was thinking about that within like the coming months here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They that's a really good spot as well. And amazing caretakers, Darren. He's awesome. So and Terry Long, they both run it together. So but yeah, that's a great place to visit as well. We got a lot of evidence there.
Awesome.
But we have a trigger object. His name is Baby Benny. He's been moved 3 times. So I don't know if you guys use any trigger objects besides the outfits.
It depends. What do you mean by like trigger objects? Like,
So like we have our doll. He's a clown. He's like there's a artist that creates these dolls to look like horror characters but baby versions. And we call him Baby Benny. And he's basically just a clown doll. You'll see him on my page. You know, we're gonna be creating a web page for him to give out the history of the buildings and stuff. And then but you just place them in an area wherever you want to in the building. We usually put a cat ball on him, and we see if any of the spirits react with him. You know, and he was moved in Monroe House. That one was freaky. I thought someone came in the house and stole him.
nice.
He was moved in the Detroit 6th precinct that me and Ace were caretakers of. And then at Wildwood Sanatorium, he was moved there. So, but
so in terms of like something we take with us everywhere, no, we don't really have a trigger object we take. But some of the we go, we'll like take the objects in the building already, or something that relates to the history, like say the hats or whatever, and that's our trigger object because they look, our thoughts with the hats at least was. They're going to look at the hats and think, oh, that reminds me of me, or you look like a soldier, so I'm going to talk to you, So that's our idea of like a trigger object. But when it comes to like, I've never thought of bringing an object with us to every place.
I mean, a lot of people use dolls because you'll pretty much find dolls in every location for some reason.
Yeah.
But ours, he's got a unique story, and we'll, when we do the page, we'll tell his story. But Darren just said message him if you're interested. He's booked for the year, but he might be able to squeeze another one in before September.
That'd be awesome. I'll message you. We'll figure out a date and I'll message you because that was on I have like a list in my notes on my phone. That's one of them on my phone that I have like all the information. So when we're ready, we can just book it. That's awesome.
That's cool, Bill. I do have my niece, son, and myself as a little team. I mean, we go wherever, we go with our team, then we go with other people. And Darren, we kind of started another little once a year team. It's called 5 Guys, 1 Girl. It's kind of just happened. But yeah, I mean, get out there as much as you can, and Ace can share some places with you guys. He knows a lot of people, a lot of caretakers. Madison Seminary is a good place in Ohio.
That's another one where
Fairfield, as well. Yeah. Adam Kimmel. Let's see, where else?
Does Adam own Fairfield too?
Mm-hmm.
Is he the caretaker of Madison Seminary too?
Yep.
So
Yep.
he
Adam
used to
Kimmel,
be.
and then they got the Indiana State Sanatorium now as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's another one. I haven't been there yet. Trying to think. Oh, Eloise, if you're able to go to Eloise here in Michigan, that's another great place.
That's how to pronounce it. Okay, I had to think about that for a second. I never knew how to pronounce that, but I've seen it.
Eloise.
Eloise. Now I know.
Eloise.
I was thinking about that. I was like, how do I pronounce that?
Yeah, we can, and I'm sure, you guys talk to Jeremy and stuff. He's got a lot of places too. Oh, Prospect Place. Yeah, Darren says Prospect Place is good. I haven't been there yet. So I try to do 3 to 4 a year with my team.
Awesome.
But, I'm so happy you guys are out there, though. It's wonderful that
Yeah.
you guys are putting out evidence. I have a hard time going through my evidence because, being a busy mom. But you being young folk, it's awesome to see. I love watching your videos.
Yeah.
I try to share out as much as I can with people. So
Awesome.
But feel free to, anytime you want to share your evidence or anything, share it on my page. I let everybody share, as long as it's respectable.
Yep. Awesome.
So feel free to share. But
Definitely will.
anything else you want to say before we end the podcast? Anything you want to share? What you have coming up next?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
So I will say in Trans-Allegheny, I've been wanting to go there. So our next documentary is Gettysburg. We're going to start making, so we always do trailers. We're doing the trailer this week. It'll be out probably next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Gettysburg documentary comes out on our YouTube Saturday, July 2nd at 1 p.m. They always come out 1 p.m. Eastern. So July 2nd is our Gettysburg one. It's going to be our biggest, best documentary yet. And then we have some awesome places coming up, some haunted hotels. We're trying to figure out Waverly and trying to figure out like a longer, bigger kind of Halloween special thing.
Mm-hmm.
I will just say definitely anybody who's watching, appreciate you watching and talking to us, and just go subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch some of our documentaries. I think we have some of the, I don't know, we have some crazy evidence. I never thought we'd get this amount of evidence. I'm just so happy with what we got so far.
Yep.
You'll see us get scared. You'll see us, we try to be funny and, and do a good job with it too. So yeah, just go check us out. Go subscribe. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. I have a guest next week, Tony Garcia. I think that's his last name. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm tired. My friend Tony's going to be on next week. And after that, then I will be taking the next 2 months off of doing the podcast because I need to just have a couple months off. I've been doing this for a year with no break in between. So I will thank everybody for watching. Tune in to next. I think it's the parent. What is it? Oh goodness, I can't even remember now. Somebody help me out. It's Goose's channel. Shoot. He's gonna hurt me. Anyways, stay on the. There's 2 shows on, one on Things and one on RU Network. They're coming up next. So you guys have a good night. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for being on the show.
Yep.
Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
for having us. See ya.